Why did Britain, after seizing the valuable colony of Indonesia during the Napoleonic Wars, just hand it back to the Netherlands? Why would a superpower like Britain return something so profitable when it had every reason to keep it? Let's dive into the story behind this strange decision. During the Napoleonic Wars, Britain's main goal was to starve France and its allies of overseas trade. When the Netherlands was absorbed into the French Empire, Britain seized the opportunity and took control of the Dutch East Indies, including Java. By 1811, the British had control and the profits were pouring in. But after Napoleon's first defeat in 1814, the map of Europe was redrawn. The coalition powers, Britain, Austria, and Russia, decided to restore the Netherlands as an independent kingdom. The reason? To create a buffer state between France and Prussia, keeping the balance of power in Europe intact. Britain now held the Dutch overseas empire and could pick and choose what to keep or return. So why did they return Indonesia? The primary reason was to ensure the Netherlands remained strong enough to serve as that buffer state. If the Dutch were stripped of their most valuable colony, they'd lose access to a massive source of wealth, making them too weak to hold off either France or Prussia. Sure, Britain could have kept that wealth for itself, but the hope was that a strong Netherlands would mean Britain wouldn't have to constantly get involved in European conflicts. There was also pressure on Britain's government to keep some Dutch colonies, and they did, retaining parts of Dutch Guiana for British sugar companies and Cape Colony to control strategic waters around Africa. However, when it came to Indonesia, the British East India Company had a different opinion. They didn't want to overextend and risk getting dragged into a costly war. Java, they argued, wasn't worth the price of extra defenses, especially since Britain had already taken the secret of its cash crops. So, returning Indonesia seemed like a win for both sides. The Netherlands got a valuable colony back, and Britain kept the Dutch friendly. Interestingly, this wasn't the last time Britain handed Indonesia back to the Dutch. After World War II, when Japan surrendered, Britain occupied Indonesia to help the Netherlands rebuild its military presence. The hope was to suppress any push for independence and maintain Dutch control, which would in turn help Britain hold on to its empire in the region. But this time, it didn't work. By 1946, the Indonesian Revolution was in full swing, and both Britain and the Netherlands lost their hold on the region, marking the end of their influence in Indonesia. And so, the question remains, was Britain's decision to return Indonesia a smart geopolitical move? Or did they give away a treasure that could have shaped their empire for generations?